welcome to our production of Those Thrilling Days of Yesteryear, a live recreation of your favorite shows from the golden age of radio. Now, we chose these two particular shows because they happen to be one of our more portable ones in our catalog. And it was only later that we discovered just how fitting it was that we would be doing these on Flag Day. Because our first episode is a Jack Benny episode, and it tells the story of when Jack and the gang decided to travel to the local junkyard and donate Jack's beloved old Maxwell, that car that was so legendary. And they donated to the scrap drive to help the war. Now, unfortunately, he misses it so much that he ends up dreaming a rather unusual reunion between himself and his faithful Otto. Now, it originally aired on October 18th, 1942, right smack in the middle of wartime. And the show was performed at the Williams Field Air Force Base near Tempe, Arizona. Now, of course, needless to say, the crowd loved some of the inside jokes that were being brought up during the performance, including a mention of Colonel Bridget, who at the time was a highly decorated Air Force pilot who served at the war and was one of the instructors at the Air Force Base. Also, listen for Mary's little wink and nod to the boys out there in the audience as well as in the airwaves. I should also mention at the end of the episode, Jack and the gang fly out to bomb Japan. Now, this was during wartime, and so of course, something like that would have been very appealing and appropriate for the audiences out there and back at home. Of course, today, Japan and all the wonderful citizens are our great friends, so this is really done to emulate what was happening back then. Our second episode brings you that lovable couple of the airwaves, Fibber McGee and Molly, which I understand has been a high demand here, and that's what brought us here. So we had to do a Fibber McGee and Molly, and in fact, many of you know they were married in real life, but they had different names. Now, the formula for the show was very, very simple. Fibber would have some crazy scheme, or something would happen, and he'd be trying to do something, and then one by one, his crazy neighbors would stop on by and cause trouble and make things confusing, and they would get into a tussle, and then things would work out in the end, or not. Anyways, sometimes they would even go into Fibber's closet. Here's some laughing. Some of you know about Fibber's closet. Well, such is the case this time around as Fibber and Molly decide it's time to clean out the old closet and do their part in contributing to the scrap drive as well. You know, everybody's doing their part to help the war. So while you are listening, you might pretend that you are one of those who had the fortune of being in the live studio audience as they watch their favorite performers do their thing. Or perhaps you might just want to sit back, close your eyes, and imagine that you're sitting in front of the old Philco radio, anxiously awaiting for your favorite show to begin. So join us now as we take you back to those thrilling days of yesteryear.
Grape Nuts Flake program, the first radio program to come to you from Williams Field near Tempe, Arizona, starring Jack Benny, with Mary Livingston, Phil Harris, Dennis Day, Rochester, and yours truly, Don Wilson. Friends, the other night I saw a movie about a rich man, a young man as rich and distinctive as the rich, distinctive flavor of Grape Nuts Flakes. And he met a young girl as truly appealing as an appealing bowl full of Grape Nuts Flakes. And when they got married, they lived as happily as folks who have that grand tasting Grape Nuts Flakes at breakfast every morning. Well, friends, the moral of this story is just this. You'll find malty rich, sweet as a nut Grape Nuts Flakes, a delicious breakfast treat. Let Grape Nuts Flakes bring you your Grape Nuts flavor in the form of delicate, toasty brown flakes. A flavor that's utterly distinctive because it's a 2-grain, blended, sun-ripened wheat and malted barley. Toasted, golden brown, and crisp, which make Grape Nut Flakes America's fastest growing cereal. So for a smooth, tasting, delicious breakfast treat, ask for Grape Nuts Flakes in the thrifty 12-ounce package. That was This Is the Army, Mr. Jones, played by the orchestra. And now, ladies and gentlemen, from Williams Field near Tempe, Arizona, we bring you a man who, after a week under the blazing Arizona sun, no longer looks like a frog's belly in the moonlight, Jack Benny.
Thank you, thank you. Frog's belly in the moonlight. Hello again. Grape Nuts Flakes again. This is Jack Benny speaking, and Don, although you put it rather crudely, there's no question about it, I do look much better in my tan.
Yes, Jack, you certainly do.
Why not? I'm outdoors all the time, horseback riding, swimming. I tell you, Don, I feel like $1 million. 25,000. You can't feel like $1 million anymore. You know, Don, this Arizona sunshine seems to have done you a lot of good, too.
Oh, it has, Jack. Every afternoon I've been taking a sunbath up on the roof of my hotel.
You? You take sunbaths on the roof? Well, it's a little dangerous, isn't it?
What do you mean, dangerous?
Well, there are a lot of planes flying around here. From 10,000 feet, you must look like a landing field. Really, I'm not kidding.
Oh, now be reasonable, Jack. From 10,000 feet in the air, I look like an ant.
Well, it must be that fat ant of yours who lives in Denver. I know a landing field when I see one. Oh, hello, Mary.
Hello, Jack. Well, get a load of you. What a tan you've got.
Haven't I, though? I tell you, Mary, I look just like those toasty brown grape nuts flakes.
Yeah, but you still shake like Jell-O.
I do not. I'm the picture of health. Gosh, I've been outdoors all week.
Well, why didn't you get a room?
I've got a room. I'm living the Arizona Biltmore, and what a ritzy place it is.
The Arizona Biltmore isn't even open yet.
All right, so I have to make my own bed. A little bending over isn't going to hurt. But that hotel is lovely. You kids will have to come out and visit me.
I'd love to, Jack. Which room are you in?
Oh, you can't miss it. It's the one with the boards knocked off the window. But do, come over.
Imagine moving in a hotel that isn't even open yet. That's the cheapest thing.
All right, forget it. Well, where are you living?
I'm at the Westward Ho, and it's one of the most beautiful hotels in Phoenix.
It is, huh?
But you wouldn't like it. It's got maids and bellboys and telephones and everything.
You're right. I'd rather rough it at the Biltmore. That's me.
Tell me, Mary, have you been having a lot of fun this week in Phoenix?
Soldiers and cowboys, how could I miss?
You're always thinking of them. What's the matter with you?
Perfectly normal. Look it up.
I don't mean that.
Hey, Jackson. Ain't it wonderful here in Arizona? Ain't nothing like those wide open spaces.
Well, hello, Phil. Well, yes, it is. And the climate is so grand.
Yeah, this air's the nuts. That's because there's very little humidity.
The who? Who what?
Humidity, stupid. That means no moisture.
Well, I know what it means. I also know how to pronounce it, but I'll be darned if I tell you. Say, where are you living, Melonhead? Gee, I'm glad I put that in. No kidding. Where are you living?
Well, Jackson, I'm staying at a beautiful place. It's called the Camelback Inn.
Oh, you're at the Camelback, huh? Having a good time?
Well, I have gone without water for 7 days, if that's what you mean.
Well, that's typical of you, Phil. You come to a beautiful place like this and you don't get any rest at all.
What are you talking about? I'm under the bed every night by 10 o'clock.
Well, Phil, I'd like to ask you why you don't sleep on top of the bed. But I know your orchestra's there. And by the way, you and your boys came out all the way from Hollywood on the Santa Fe bus, didn't you?
Oh, all but my guitar player. He bought a new pair of shoes and he wants to break them in.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, I've heard everything.
Say, Mr. Benny, I was wondering if I could dedicate my song.
Oh, hello, Dennis.
Hello. Say, Mr. Benny, I was wondering if I could dedicate my...
What? What'd you say?
I was wondering if I could dedicate my...
How do you feel out here in the desert, kid?
Oh, fine.
Good.
I had a slight case of cactus in my feet, but it's all out now.
Oh, well, there's a lot of that going around. I know about that.
Jack back in the cactus the other night,
Never mind.
and he had to take his pants off with a pair of tweezers.
Right.
Say, Mr. Benny, I was wondering if I could dedicate my song tonight to a girlfriend of mine. I'm singing Conchita.
Oh, that's your girlfriend's name, Conchita?
No, Babe Marks.
Well, what's the connection between Conchita and Babe Marks?
Well, she can cheetah more than any girl I've ever met.
Dennis, you better get a big hat. The sun here is taking advantage of you.
He was a handsome young Irish lad, she was a Mexican beauty. He was a fiesta and I might add, romantically he was on duty. A boy and a girl meet the stars. I can tell it in 64 bars. His Irish heart went bingo when he saw the Rosa Flores. Conchita, Paquita, Rolita, Papito, Rolisa, Lunita, Del Pez. Oh, you're a lovely bingo. For me, there's but one girl, he said.
Who?
Conchita, Matica, Lolita, Papito, Resito, Benito Lopez. Mandolins began to play, and her lips were there to kiss. As they danced, I heard him say, New Jersey was never like this. The bells began to ring home, and they rode away on a mule. To prove I'm not joking, if you're in Hoboken, drop in for a minute and you'll meet Conchita, Maquita, Lolita, Papita, Rosita, Juanita, O'Toole. And there's little Teresa, Maria, Elisa, and Patsy, and Molly, and Mike, and Jose, and Pancho, and Pedro, and Sancho, and Tommy, and Timmy, and Spike. Of course, there are others, they're older, and they go to school. There's no more to my song now, so I'll run along now. That's all for the bell hand. O'Toole.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, I have a very important announcement to make. Last Monday afternoon, Jack Benny went to an official automobile graveyard in Los Angeles and contributed his famous Maxwell to the junk salvage drive.
Yep. Little Maxie is going to do her bit in the war effort.
So at this time, folks, we would like to reenact for you all that took place on that historic occasion.
Gosh, did I make history?
Why, certainly. They wanted to take Paul Revere out of the school books and put you in.
Oh, stop. I know better than that.
John Paul Revere. What a sailor he was.
Oh, quiet. Continue now.
Jack felt that his whole radio gang should be present to take a farewell ride in his old jalopy. So he told us to be at his house at 3 o'clock sharp, and we'd all ride together to the junkyard together.
Well, imagine turning a car like this into the junk pile. Why, the motor is in wonderful condition.
Wonderful condition.
Yes.
I lifted up the hood yesterday and the spark plugs were playing Ring Around the Fan Belt.
That's a lie, because I'm wearing the fan belt. You know, fellas, I realize I should give my car to the salvage drive, but gee, you can't blame a guy for feeling blue and all choked up.
Did the laundry shrink your collar?
No! Pay attention. I'm sentimental. Take it easy, Rochester. No use getting another ticket for speeding.
Holy smokes, Jack. You mean to say you got a ticket for speeding in this car?
That's right, Mr. Harris. Our bumper got hooked to a fire truck.
I don't care how it happened, it was going like the wind. Now watch what you're doing, Rochester, and grab a hold of the steering wheel.
I'll catch it the next time it comes by.
Well, you better. Gosh, imagine after all these years, parting with my little Maxwell.
Oh boy! Hey, look at that gorgeous blonde standing on the corner there.
Where? Who? What? Where? Oh yeah, I see her.
Oh, Jack, put down that telescope.
Well, I know the girl. It's Shirley Truebucks. Hello? Hello, Shirley? Remember me?
Jeepers! Yes!
Turn here, Rochester. That junkyard is down on Western Avenue. gee, it ought to be around here somewhere.
There's the sign, Jack. Official Automobile Graveyard.
Oh, yeah. Well, turn in here, Rochester.
Okay,
And watch that curve.
easy does it.
Well, that's it, fellas. That was our last trip. Our last ride in the Maxwell.
I'll buy drinks.
Never mind. Hello.
Yes, sir. What can I do for you?
I'm Jack Benny. Are you the head man of this junkyard?
Well, I'm not wearing this carnation in my overalls for nothing.
Oh, well, yes. Well, I've got a car here I'd like to turn in for a salvage drive. This is it right here.
Well, we do need junk, but aren't you overdoing it, old man?
Look, buddy, scrap is scrap. Now how much am I offered?
The rate we're paying here is $7 a ton. So I can give you about $7.50.
$7.50? Well, wait a minute, mister. I've got a lot of extras on this car. For instance, there's the radio, and the fog lights, and the cigarette lighter.
What cigarette lighter?
Right here.
That's a candle.
Well, if you can't light a cigarette with a candle, brother, you ought to give up smoking. Now, how much am I offered?
It's still $7.50.
Oh.
Now, you can have cash, but if you like, I'll pay you in war stamps.
Yeah, I'll take the war stamps.
Yes, sir. Would you like a wet sponge, or have you strength enough to lick them?
Just give me the stamps. I'll handle it. Thanks. Well, that's that.
Come on, Jack, let's get going.
Yep. Gotta get going, I guess. Yes, sir.
Come on, Jackson. Let's get out of here.
Yep. Gotta leave my little Maxie. Oh, well, it's for a good cause. Yep.
Well, what are we waiting for? Let's go.
Yeah. Let's go. Well, come on. Come on, Rochester.
I'm coming, boss. I'm coming.
Oh, stop bawling or you'll have me doing it too. Come on, let's get out of here.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, it's several hours later, and Jack has returned to his home in Beverly Hills. And as we pick him up now, it's about bedtime.
5 years. 5 years I've had that little Maxwell, and now it's gone forever. Well, I might as well turn in, I guess. Get my pajamas out, Rochester.
I put a nightshirt right there on the bed, boss.
I don't want a nightshirt. I've been getting cold lately, and a nightshirt creeps up on me.
Well, this one won't do any creeping. I put stirrups on it.
Good, good. I don't think I'll bother creaming my face tonight. No, really, I'm too tired. My complexion's all right.
Well, I got that new stuff at the drugstore. Bentley's Buffered Beauty Balm.
What's that?
Well, it says right here, put it on and take a snooze. Clears up wrinkles on face or shoes.
Well, just put it on my shoes tonight. I'm all in. Here, hang up my pants and undershirt. Well, good evening, Mr. Billingsley.
Good evening, Mr. Benny. Stripped for your physical, I see.
No, I'm just getting ready for bed. Been getting very restless lately.
Well, in that case, you must try one of my new sleeping pills. Here you are.
But Mr. Billingsley, this isn't a sleeping pill, it's a baseball bat.
Well, if that doesn't do the trick, you ought to see a doctor.
Well, thanks anyway.
Don't mention it. Good night, Mr. Benny.
Good night.
Oh, I haven't seen her in years.
He's a strange fellow. Boy, am I all in.
Pleasant dreams, boss. Brace yourself.
Rochester, put down that baseball bat. As bad as he is. Gosh, this bed feels real good. Although, how I can sleep with my Maxwell all busted up in that junkyard, I don't know.
Boss, why don't you look at it this way? Before you know it, the scrap in your car is going to be part of a battleship, or a tank, or an airplane.
Gee, never thought of it that way.
I tell you, boss, if everybody in this country turned in their old junky cars and gathered all the scrap they could, there wouldn't be no shortage of nothing, especially victory.
Well, you're right, Rochester. Absolutely right. Well, good night.
Good night, Mr. Dutton. If your hot water bottle springs a leak, just put a Band-Aid on it.
I will. Hey, no wonder I'm tired. Gee, I practically helped Henry Kaiser build a ship today. Gosh, just think, little Maxie, gonna be a ship, or a tank, or maybe an airplane. $7 a ton.
Calling Bombardier Benny. Calling Bombardier Benny. Report to commanding officer immediately.
Bombardier Benny? Gee, that's me. I'm a bombardier.
Calling Bombardier Benny.
Coming, sir. Bombardier Benny reporting. Did you call me, sir?
Yes, what kept you?
Sorry, I was creaming my face. What's up, sir?
There's a bomber waiting outside. You're assigned to the crew. Your destination is Tokyo.
Tokyo?
Yes, are you ready?
I sure am, Colonel Bridget. I'm all set to shove off.
Good. You'll find your bomber on the north runway. Pilot's warming up the plane now.
Oh, wait a minute. I forgot my radio, my fog light, and my cigarette lighter.
Here's a candle.
A candle?
Yes. If you can't light a cigarette with a candle, you ought to take off that fan belt.
Gee, the Colonel's in a happy mood today. Oh boy, Tokyo. I'm gonna blow that joint to smithereens, or my name ain't Bombardier Benny. Gee, look at all those bombers. I wonder which one is mine.
Your plane is coming right up.
Where? Bobby, it's my Maxwell. Only it's got wings on it. Maxie, speak to me. It knows me. Gee, it's nice up here. How high are we, Rochester?
10,000 feet, boss.
Good. At $7 a ton, that's a fortune. Well, we're off to Tokyo.
We sure are.
Uh-oh. There's a red light up ahead. Slow down, Rochester.
Red light. That's the sun.
Well, it just turned green. Step on it. Look at that water down there. Is that the Pacific Ocean, Navigator?
It sure is, Jackson.
Phil Harris? Are you the navigator, Phil?
Well, I ain't wearing this carnation in my nose for nothing.
Oh, yes. Well, where are we, Phil?
Well, according to the calculations I just computed on my Mercator chart, we're at the feet of the apex, longitude 42, latitude 51, and a wind velocity of $7 a ton.
Well, what does that mean? Where are we?
St. Joe, Missouri. They love me there.
Well, come on. We got to get to Tokyo. Gee, I hope we've got enough bombs with us.
Cigars, cigarettes, bombs. You can't have any fun over Tokyo without a bomb.
Oh, I'll take one of those, miss.
You want a wet sponge with them, or can you drop them yourself?
Yourself? Oh, I haven't seen her in years. What's the matter, Rochester?
We're running into bad weather, boss. Look at that cloud up ahead.
Where? Why, I know that cloud. It's Don Wilson. Hiya, Don.
Hello, Jack. Where are you going?
Tokyo.
Good. I rained all over it last night.
You want to come along with us, Don?
I'd love to, but I gotta float back to America now and tell everybody about America's fastest growing cereal. Those toasty brown, sweet as a nut, grape nuts flakes. There you go again. The grain. The grain.
Well, come on, Harris. You're the navigator. Which way to Tokyo?
I'll have to get my position by radio.
Tune it in.
And so, chin up, but with Fred in the house, we find Sally Yachimoto waiting for her husband, Toki.
That's a Japanese radio. We must be on the beam, all right. We've got to get ready. Where's our machine gunner, Shirley Truebucket?
Here I am, Mr. Benny.
Good. We're on our way, fellas. It won't be long now. Hey, who's that passing us?
It's Jimmy Doolittle.
Oh, yeah? Hello, Jimmy.
Hiya, Jack!
Good old Doolittle. Follow him, Rochester. He knows where Tokyo is. Gee, it ought to be around here someplace.
Look, Mr. Benny. Look, Mr. Benny, there's a big island down below us.
And that city in the middle there it's Tokyo.
Tokyo? Now get set, Harris. We're going into a dive.
A dive? I wouldn't drink with them guys for $1 million.
Oh, no, I didn't mean that. We're going to give them the works. Come on, men. Let's start dropping those bombs. That whole building blew up. Look at that bamboo fly. Oh, there goes another building.
Boss! Boss! Wake up!
And
Wake
there
up!
goes another one.
Wake up! Boss, you're dreaming!
And there goes... Dreaming. Dreaming. Oh. Oh, yes. Rochester, I just had the most wonderful dream. I dreamt I was bombing Tokyo.
Tokyo? Did you blow it all up?
Not quite.
Well, then I'll stir you up a Welsh rabbit. Let's finish the job.
That's an idea. What a dream!
One of the most vital industries in America is homemaking. That's why, as a homemaker, you help sustain the health and stamina on the home front. To help you in that job, our government's National Nutrition Program tells you how to plan menus wisely to get each day plenty of the essential foods which promote health and vitality. Now that includes whole grain cereals. Cereals such as delicious, toasty brown Grape Nuts Flakes. For Grape Nuts Flakes are a whole grain cereal, so they supply important whole grain food values such as iron, niacin, and vitamin B1. Food values which every one of us need every day to keep ourselves in robust, good health. Yes, Grape Nuts Flakes at breakfast will give you a mighty good start on your daily normal routine. So for a grand, nutritious breakfast, taste that chock full of delicious flavor. Make it malty rich, sweet as a nut Grape Nuts Flakes tomorrow morning.
That's the last number in the third program of the Grape Nuts Flakes series. All kidding aside, ladies and gentlemen, automobile scrap must furnish 5 million of the 30 million tons of the steel scrap needed to maintain steel productions at its current rate. So sell your old jalopy to an automobile graveyard and help keep those steel mills rolling. I want to thank Colonel Bridget and Colonel Grill for their friendly cooperation here at Williams Field. It was a real pleasure to dedicate this new theater here at the Post.
Fine building, no powder room.
Well, it's for the soldiers. Good night, folks.
The Jack Benny program is for the entertainment of army personnel and does not necessarily constitute an endorsement of its products by the War Department.
Have you treated your family to Grape Nuts wheat meal? It's the new hot cereal that's extra nourishing, extra delicious, extra speedy. Grape Nuts wheat meal is nourishing, whole grain hot cereal. Every tempting, steaming bowlful is rich with the goodness of roasted wheat, with a texture that's smooth but full-bodied. And it cooks in just 3 minutes. So ask your grocer for the rich, hot brown cereal. Grape Nuts Wheat Meal. This program came to you from the Williams Field in Arizona. This is the National Broadcasting Company.
Johnson's Wax Program with Fibber McGee and Molly. The makers of Johnson's Wax and Johnson's Self-Polishing Glow Coat present Fibber McGee and Molly, written by Don Quinn, with songs by the Kingsmen and music by Billy Mills Orchestra. The show opens with Great Day. I know it's human nature to put things off, but what about that job of cleaning and polishing your car? Have you bought your can of Johnson's Car New yet? Have you had the thrill of seeing a new car pop right up before your eyes, as if you had rubbed a light its lamp? Maybe that sounds a little exaggerated, but I know you're going to be in for a surprise the first time you use Car New. It's so easy to use for one thing because it cleans and polishes in one application. Does two jobs at the same time. Car New is a liquid. You massage it gently over the finish, and when it dries to a powder, you wipe it off. And there stands your car with its almost forgotten showroom shine. Now, if you want to protect that shine for a longer time and save on your car washings, you add a coat of wax. But first, do that double job of cleaning and polishing with Johnson's Car New, spelled C-A-R-N-U. It's the easy, labor-saving way to keep up the finish of your car. They say a well-groomed woman gives her tresses 100 strokes with a hairbrush every night before retiring. It must work too, because McGee's horse Lillian is simply radiating charm and beauty these days. And here in the garage giving their handsome hay burner the brush off in a nice way, we find Fibber, McGee, and Molly.
Oh, my, doesn't the coat shine beautifully, McGee?
You know what? I got a Charlie horse on my arm from currying her. Charlie, let me introduce you to Lillian. Lillian, this is Charlie. You two horses ought to know each other. You gotta watch that, Lillian. You almost missed your cue.
Oh, isn't she sweet? Look at her wag her tail, McGee. She's happy.
And horses, Mrs. McGee, that ain't happiness. That's flies. Now hold still, you big corn cruncher. Molly, haven't we curried her long enough?
Oh, I think so. And she looks lovely, too. Though a little fat, I'd say.
Yeah, she's hippie, but happy. Hand me a blanket, will you? There's kind of a draft blowing through here.
You know, I don't think this blanket is big enough, McGee. Her legs must get awfully cold.
What do you think we ought to do? She'd look awful silly in long underwear.
Oh, well, she does need a bigger blanket, though. Yes, Mother's little baby gets cold, doesn't she? Would you?
Oh, quit talking baby talk to her, Molly. Next thing you know, she'll be wanting me to sit on my lap and listen to the Three Bears. Her to sit on my lap.
Hee-hees, where are you?
Who's that?
It's Mrs. Uppington, I think.
Yes, I should have recognized that sweet voice. I hear it in my dreams. Every time I eat too much lobster salad.
Now, listen, McGee, she isn't so bad. She's just afflicted with too much money.
Old Dr. McGee could cure that affliction with one rousing game of poker. What do you say we have the old...
Yoo-hoo! Mrs. McGee, are you there?
I'm in the garage, Abigail! Now, be nice, dearie.
Okay, I'll kiss her hand and curtsy. And if I had the old...
Oh, hello there, Abigail.
Oh, how do you do, Mrs. McGee? Hello, Mr. McGee.
Hi, Uppy. Get away from me, you big ox. I haven't got any sugar.
Please, Mr. McGee, I did not come here.
He didn't mean you, Abigail. He was talking to Lillian.
Oh, yes.
Yes, have you met Lillian, Uppy? Lillian, dear, this is Mrs. Abigail Uppington, the big splash and the finger bowl set. Uppy, shake hands with, I'd like to have you meet our adopted daughter, Lillian.
Oh, Oh, Lily and I have met Mr. McGee, and I think she's very, very charming. Oh, I love horses. In fact, I was quite the horsewoman in my day. They used to say I rode like a centaur.
Like a what?
A centaur. That is a mythological figure, Mr. McGee. Half man, half horse.
Oh, really? Well, which half were you?
Oh, McGee! Now look, Abigail, won't you come into the house and have a cup of tea?
Oh, thank you. No, my dear. I just stopped by to ask you a favor on behalf of the Wistful Vista Reclamation Committee, of which I am chairwoman.
Uppy, you're such a confirmed chairwoman, it's a wonder you weren't born with 4 legs.
Oh, thank you, Mr. McGee.
What is the Reclamation Committee, Abigail, and what are they going to wreck?
Well, we are putting on a campaign, Mrs. McGee, asking citizens to go look through their homes for any material which might be useful to the government in this emergency.
Oh.
Old paper, metal, rags, all that sort of thing. Oh, here's a folder about it.
Okay, Uppy, but I don't think we got much of that kind of stuff.
Mickey, how about half the closet?
You think there might be something in there?
I have a sneaking suspicion that we might find an ounce or two that we might spare. What will we do with it, Abigail?
Oh, just pile it up outside. I should have our truck call for it at 4 o'clock.
Well, we'll get right at it right away, Uppy. Now, when we're through with Lillian, anyway.
I must say, you keep her looking very well.
I tell you, we curry and brush her for 2 hours every day, Abigail. See how her coat shines?
Oh, yes, there is nothing like it, Mrs. McGee. Personally, I brush my hair at least an hour a day.
Well, some horses need more care than others, Uppy.
Now, please, Mr. McGee, I am not a... Well, bye, Mrs. McGee.
Did I say something wrong?
Oh, no. You just called her a horse is all. Nothing to be offended about.
You should be offended about that. That's Lillian who ought to be hurt. Hey, Lillian. Does Daddy's little baby think that old nasty woman...
Mickey!
Huh? Oh, well, let's get at that closet, Molly.
Interesting government folder Abigail gave us, McGee.
Yeah?
Listen, it says, in our attics, cellars, backyards, and basements are waste materials that can help make ships, tanks, guns, and ammunition. Salvage now for victory. Oh, come on, McGee, let's get busy.
Okay.
I'll be glad to get that closet cleaned out.
Yeah, me too. Okay. Open her up.
No, you open it.
No. You open it. I opened it last time.
Yeah, but you can jump out of the way quicker than I can.
Well, okay. Here goes.
Well.
There, see? No cause to be alarmed. That's right. Just look at that, will you? Well, ought to be plenty of stuff in here for the government.
Yes, very. Oh, there's an old aluminum coffee pot. We can give that to the government.
Well, but that's what I use for my camping trips.
Well, tap a tree and drink maple syrup. This goes to Uncle Sam. Aluminum is a very important thing.
better make 3 piles of this stuff for savings for the government. Rubber in one, metal in another, and paper. Hey, look.
What?
There's my old ukulele.
Oh, say, I never know you had a ukulele.
Oh, sure you did. Remember before we were married how we used to sit on that swing out in your front lawn? I'd play the uke and sing to you. Stuff like Red Wing and Pretty Baby. There's Egypt in your dreamy eyes. What you looking at? What's the matter? What are you looking at me like that for?
McGee, give me that ukulele.
Okay, but it needs to be tuned up. Hey, what's the idea? You're busting it up, Molly. Haven't you got any sentiment?
Not for this.
Huh?
The only swing on a front lawn in our neighborhood belonged to that red-headed Dixon girl down the street. And that wasn't Egypt in her dreamy eyes. That was mascara, the hussy.
Oh my gosh. Oh, well, I never liked her very much anyway.
Honest?
Nah. Her swing squeaked. Hey, here's your old portable sewing machine, Molly. That's good for 30 pounds of metal.
Oh, and here's a pile of old magazines.
Yeah.
Well, the Police Gazette.
Oh, I'll take those, Molly. I was planning on joining the police force once.
You don't say.
Yeah.
Well, hello there, folks. What goes on?
Oh, hello, Mr. Wilcox.
Hiya, Harlow. We're cleaning out the hall closet. We're sorting out some things that government can salvage.
Want to pitch in and see what you can find, Mr. Wilcox? We got everything here but the kitchen. Mickey, there it is.
What?
The kitchen sink over in the corner.
Well, darned if it ain't. That's another 20 pounds iron.
Well, I'll just go away quietly and leave you two to your memories and old umbrellas. I wouldn't want to... Oh, look at this.
Oh, what are you mooning over that for? It's just an old tin can.
Yes, but an old tin can of what? Johnson's self-polishing glow coat.
But it's empty.
That's what I love about it. This empty can means that Molly has been spared hours and hours of housework.
For Pete's sakes.
It means that her kitchen linoleum has been tenderly cared for, that its beauty and luster have been preserved.
Yes, but that empty can must have been around for years.
Well, the longer you've been using it, the better I like it. It just goes to show that once a housewife has tried Johnson's glow coat, she keeps on because it's so easy to use, saves so much time and effort, conserves your energy and your property.
Hand me my hat, Molly.
Where are you going, dearie?
Oh, no place. I just want to take it off to Mr. Wilcox. Now, there's a guy who can really dramatize a tin can. Break his commercial little heart over a pile of junk. Ah, boy, what a performance he could put on at the city dump.
You think not? Meet me there tomorrow at 2:30.
I don't believe I've ever known. I don't believe I've known another man who is quite so sold on his job, McGee.
Me either. You ever notice that little bare spot on the back of his head?
Is he getting bald?
Oh, no, his hair is just worn off there. He uses a can of glow coat for a pillow. Yeah, come on, let's get busy. We ain't made a dent in this stuff yet. Hey, where you going, Molly?
I'm going to put on an old house dress. This stuff is too dusty to handle. Now, you keep busy, dearie, and I'll be back in a minute.
Okay. Boy, what a family can accumulate in a few years. This? What's this? Ashtray from the Sherman Hotel in Chicago. So that's where I stayed during that Legion convention. Come in, come in, come in, come in.
Hi, mister.
Huh? Oh, hi, little girl. Come back later now, I'm busy.
What you doing, mister?
Well, I'm cleaning out the closet, sis, and at the same time, seeing what I can dig up that might be useful to Uncle Sam.
Oh, hey, is Uncle Sam really our uncle, mister? Is he? Is he?
Is he? He certainly is, sis. And nobody ever had a better uncle. Like most relatives, he annoys us now and then. And we squawk and complain, but it don't mean anything. When we get in a jam, he's always in there to back us up. And when he gets in a mess, well, we rally around. He's the only rich uncle in the world that his whole family hopes will live forever. Now get out of the way, sis, I'm busy.
Oh, looky, mister. Look what I found. Ice skates.
Where? Oh, man. Used to be my ice skates, sis.
Can I have them? Can I please?
Sis, you'd be welcome to them except for 3 reasons. They won't fit you, and they're so rusty they ain't good for skating anymore. And in the third place, Uncle Sam needs them more than you do. I'm sorry.
Okay, mister. There's another reason, too?
What's that? I said, what's that?
What's what?
The fourth reason you don't want these skates.
That's it. I don't want them.
Then why'd you ask for them?
Just to see if you give them to me. I'd rather wait and have a good pair anyway.
What do you mean, a good pair? These were the most expensive pair I ever won selling Larkin's products door to door.
I bet you they can't be much good, I'll bet you. My daddy said so.
Your daddy didn't even know I ever had a pair of skates.
Well, he must have. He said they were no good.
I don't. Now let's get this straight, sis. What was your immediate paternal forebear's dumb comment regarding these Milcon moccasins?
Say that again?
I says, what did your old man say?
He said McGee's the cheapest skate he ever saw. So long, mister.
Oh, well, the truck is almost loaded, Molly. How much more stuff we got?
Well, not much. Just the old dress form and your old golf clubs and the magazines and some little stuff.
Yeah, I wonder if I could still use these golf clubs.
What was your score the last time you played?
Well, I guess I don't need them anymore. Here's your dress form, Molly.
Thank you, dearie.
Well, loaded junk. The truck is way down on the springs now. Where'd that driver go?
He's out in the garage talking to Lillian.
Maybe we can stick around to lend a hand. Here's the magazines.
Hey, what's this thing, McGee?
Huh? Oh, that's my old steel helmet from the last war. The government will be glad to get that.
Well, I don't know, McGee. This helmet's got an awful dent in the top of it.
I say it has. That helmet saved my life in the last war.
Oh, get hit by a bullet?
No, bumped into a stump. I was crawling out of... Oh, look who's coming. A trivia.
Well, let's not get into one of those silly arguments with him, will ya?
Oh, come on, let's do it. Do him good. Hi, the trivia.
Oh, hello, McGee. Good day, Mrs. McGee. What are you doing up in that truck?
We're just loading some junk into it, Mr. Mayor. We just cleaned out the closet.
Then why doesn't McGee get up in that truck and let you hand him the things?
You mind your own business of trivia. Molly's the kind of woman I always like to look up to. Here you go, Molly. Catch.
Can I help?
No, thank you, Mr. Mayor. We're nearly through now.
Very well. I just came by to ask you if you subscribe to Liberty Magazine.
Oh, yes, we do, Mr. Mayor. But if you're working your way through college, we'll be glad to.
I am not working my way through college, Mrs. McGee. I merely wish to tell you that in tomorrow's issue of Liberty, there will be a 4-page article about you and Mr. McGee.
Honest trivia?
As honest as it could be, I suppose, considering it's a family magazine.
Oh, well, thank you, Mr. Mayor. We'll be looking forward to it. And I might have known you weren't working your way through college.
Well, as a matter of fact, Mrs. McGee, I did work my way through college.
We interfere with your college work any of the triv?
No, not a bit. In fact, I was particularly active in the Glee Club.
Oh, well, here we go again. So, you belonged to a glee club, did you, Mr. Mayor? That must have been fun.
It was. We had some splendid singers.
I suppose they sang on account of being so gleeful.
No, because they belonged to the Glee Club. A Glee Club is formed for the purpose of group singing.
Oh, I always sing. I'm happy too, but I don't have to belong to a club to do it, Mr. Mayor.
I didn't either, Mrs. McGee. I joined the Glee Club because I like to sing. But a Glee Club is not necessarily gleeful.
Do you mean they were unhappy?
Why should they be unhappy?
Why shouldn't they be?
Well, they should be. No, they shouldn't be. What has their happiness to do with it?
Well, now that's a fine attitude of trivia, not to care whether your own club is happy or not. Well, when I went to high school...
I am merely trying to explain that the term Glee Club has nothing to do with glee. Is that clear?
Oh, I see what you mean. Like if you belong to the Elks, you don't necessarily have to give all of your friends one of your front teeth.
That's exactly what... No. What I'm trying to say is that a college glee club is formed of people who like to sing.
Certainly. You see, Molly, if you ain't full of glee, they won't take you in.
Whether or not they are full of glee does not matter. All that matters is whether or not you can sing.
Well, it's the same thing. You can't sing unless you're gleeful.
Well, how about Lawrence Tibbet, Molly? He has to sing his concerts whether he's gleeful or not.
Yeah, but how much does he get?
Oh, up in the thousands, I guess.
And he's unhappy about that?
I didn't say he was unhappy.
But you said distinctly that Mr. Tippett wasn't happy when he sang, and I only...
You said he had to be gleeful.
No, McGee, I never said he had to be...
Well, I'll just leave you two good people to argue it out for yourselves. And don't forget the Liberty article. Good day.
So long, Latrivia.
Goodbye, Mr. Mayor. Oh, now look here, McGee. You said that Lawrence Tippett was unhappy at receiving thousands of dollars of performance.
I never no such thing. I only said...
You did too. You said
No,
that
I
he was...
said that he was probably...
Oh, yeah, that's
Hey,
exactly
hey, hey, hey. What are we arguing about? Latrivia's gone.
Oh. Oh, heavenly days. Caught on our own hook. Well, let's get the rest of this stuff loaded, McGee.
Okay. There. Is this all the stuff, Molly? Any more in the closet?
No, it's all out of here, McGee. That closet was as empty as a threat to Joe Lewis's title.
Okay.
But Uncle Dennis said...
Oh, Uncle Dennis. I get tired of hearing about that guy. When's he gonna move out?
Now listen, don't you talk like that about Uncle Dennis. He's never done anything to you.
Uh-huh. Except he eats more than Lillian, sleeps more than Rip Van Winkle. He's a regular parachute.
No, you mean parasite, dearie. A parachute is a big thing that gets full of air and lets you down easy.
That's what I said. Uncle Dennis is a regular parachute. Oh, hi, Wimpy.
Hello, Mr. McGee. Hello, Mrs. McGee.
Hello, Mr. Wimple. We'll be through here in just a minute. Hand me that little last bit of things, McGee.
Here you are.
There, now that's all. Help me down, dearie.
Okay, grab my hand. That's it.
Okay.
My goodness, what on earth are you folks doing?
We just cleaned out our whole closet, Mr. Wimple. We're sending a lot of old metal and rubber and paper to the government.
Oh, that's splendid, Mrs. McGee. I went down this morning and tried to join the Marines. Sweetie Face went with me to give her consent.
Did they take you, Wimpy?
No. They said my eyes were too weak and I was anemic and underweight and overage and I wasn't tall enough.
Oh, well, that's too bad, Mr. Wimple.
No, it turned out all right. They accepted Sweetie Face.
You mean Sweetie Face is in the Marines now, Wimp?
Just as an instructor, Mr. McGee. She's going to teach them how to box and wrestle and do jiu-jitsu. She's demonstrated to them how to disarm an opponent, starting with a blow on the neck and knocking all his teeth out.
Oh, heavenly days, that must have been quite impressive.
Oh, indeed it was. By the way, can you recommend a good dentist?
Go see Doc Goodham, Wimp. Tell him I sent you. So, Sweetie Face used you as an example of how to treat the enemy, huh?
Oh, she certainly did, Mr. McGee. And then the recruiting officer asked Sweetie Face if she knew anything about bayonet fighting.
And what did she say?
I don't know, Mrs. McGee. I jumped out a window. Oh, but look at me, standing here gossiping, and you're so busy.
No, we're all finished, Wimp. Come on in and take a look at that closet now. It's a sight for sore housekeepers. Yeah, we'll show you the closet, then maybe Molly will make us a cup of coffee.
Oh, certainly, boys. But, McGee, I was telling you that Uncle Dennis...
Skip Uncle Dennis. Come on in, Wimp.
My, this is such a peaceful house. I wish I lived here. Or someplace.
Oh, well, now listen. Anytime you want to come for a couple of weeks to heal up, Mr. Wimple, we'll be glad to have you.
Sure we will. Yeah, take a look at this closet, Wimp. I'm proud of it.
But, McGee, I told you,
I
Uncle...
want Wimple to see the closet. Now look, Wimp. Well, what in the heck?
I'm trying to tell you, McGee. I've been trying to tell you all the time. When Uncle Dennis saw that there closet, he moved all his stuff in there.
Well, we haven't all got hall closets like the McGees, but if you're looking for ways in which you can do something right now to help your country, listen carefully. You can turn this spring house cleaning into direct aid for all-out production by very carefully salvaging from your attic and basement all discarded articles made with rubber or metal, as well as old rags and scrap paper. Rubber and scrap metal are most important. 29 pounds of old rubber will make a life raft for a Navy plane. 12 pounds of scrap metal is half the steel needed for a small machine gun. That's important, isn't it? Sort out all discarded tools, old tire chains, batteries, pieces of pipe, anything made of metal that you can't use. Sort out old rubber tires, torn boots or overshoes, hot water bottles, bath mats. Sort out old clothing, rags of all kind, waste papers and cartons. Send them to your local junk collector or give them to a charitable organization that's collecting such material. Remember, rubber and scrap metal are most important right now. Your government is asking your help. Make this spring house cleaning your special contribution to victory.
Well, I'm glad that job is done. You certainly have worked hard, McGee. I'll say that for you.
I say that for me, too.
You look tired, dearie.
Yeah.
Say, why don't you go down to the Elks Gymnasium and get yourself a massage?
I can't, Molly. The masseur joined the Army.
He did?
Yep.
I thought he was way over age.
Well, he is. But I guess the government wants any old rubber it can get.
Oh.
Huh?
I said, oh.
Oh, good night.
Oh, good night, oh.
This is Harlow Wilcox speaking for the makers of Johnson's Wax, finishes for home and industry, inviting you to be with us again next Tuesday night. Good night. This program has come to you from Hollywood. This is the National Broadcasting Company.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. We hope that you've enjoyed our show today. Now, we also have other shows coming up, as I said, in the Oak Park Arms. Our next show is down on Sunday, June 30th at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. We will be doing the Lux Radio Theater adaptation of The Maltese Falcon. So be sure to check out our website, TTDYRadio.com, for more information and to get all the information there. Also, you'll be able to see our upcoming season with appearances by such famed celebrities as Tallulah Bankhead, Groucho Marx, Baby Snooks and Daddy, Jack Benny, Fred Allen, also featuring such legendary shows as Gunsmoke, Dragnet, Suspense, and more. So again, visit our website, TTDYRadio.com. And now, for the cast of Those Thrilling Days of Yesteryear, playing the role of Don Wilson and Mayor Latrivia, Rob Lamont. The role of Jack Benny was John Corona. Playing Mary Livingston and Abigail Uppington, Margie Gustafson. Playing the role of Rochester, John Gould. And Lillian the horse. Man's got to get credit for it. Don Giggle. The Scrapyard Man, the radio voice, and Fibber McGee, Marty Dean. Playing Mr. Billingsley and the Page and Harlow Wilcox, Aaron Wolfenson. And covering Colonel Bridget and Jimmy Doolittle and Wimple, Craig Gustafson. Molly McGee and Teeny were played by Pam Turlow. And of course, no radio show would be complete, including The Closet, without the synchronous sound effect stylings of Aaron Wolfenson, Craig Gustafson, and John Corona and Pam Turlow. And I'm also the producer and Dennis Day, Ben Dooley. And on behalf of the cast, we'd like to extend our thanks to you, the audience, for once again helping our show to come alive and for living those thrilling days of yesteryear so that we could bring them back to you. Thank you.